another man who is, like, he's still got a long way to go in his career before we put him up there with these two. But I mean, look, if he wins this game, his resume is getting up there. Kylian Mbappe.
Kylian
So
Mbappe.
I want to get your thoughts, and this is purely hypothetical based on
Yeah, basically.
if he's able to win this match with France.
It's
What
only
would
fair.
what
It's
does
only
this
fair that we talk about it as if he won because we just basically went on for like 30 minutes about like Messi
eh,
has already won it. So I will
yeah.
be yeah.
So if slash when Mbappe wins this World Cup, what does that do for his legacy for you? And does that give him any chance? Look, we're talking way down the line here now, but
Definitely down the line.
does it give him any chance at potentially becoming the GOAT or really entering that conversation?
I think I kind of took Mbappe out of the GOAT conversation already. I know it's already like way too young. I took him out of the conversation after that he couldn't win the Champions League final versus Bayern Munich because compared to even because you're getting compared to Messi. Messi had already won a Ballon d'Or and a Champions League at his age at 23. That's something a lot of people forget. That here Messi already had a Ballon d'Or. He had one at Mbappe's age. That's how much of a head start this guy has. And Messi could possibly win his fucking ninth Ballon d'Or. Like literally,
We didn't even
what
mention that.
it's almost impossible to think anybody could pass this guy. But I mean, if Mbappe can win a second World Cup, I think he's vaulting himself as he's for sure getting in that top five. I think if he wins a second World Cup, he's pushing Zidane. He's pushing up there to be the best French player ever. I mean that's to me where I'm a little bit closer at. If he wins this game, he'll be up there as you could possibly give it to him as being already one of the best French players ever. At 23, at 24, he's still very very young, but you know he'd have to do a lot to catch up because he hasn't been very good in the Champions League. He's been a bit underwhelming in the Champions League. Going out to a Madrid side that you should have won. I mean, he went out to Madrid what twice, and those are very winnable games. I mean, going into those games, especially I think it was 2018 when we played them, they were up 1-0 at the Bernabeu when Rabiot scored. I mean, you had Cavani, you had Neymar, and you had Mbappe. They were all healthy. Like we when Madrid played PSG, we played them when they were always fully healthy, and we played them when they had Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, and we still somehow won. So I think I'm gonna hold that highly against them because he's basically been on super teams almost ever since he joined PSG, and he's still yet to win a Champions League. That to me is a bit head scratching. And I mean, yeah, I'll give him this. He's playing really well in the World Cups. He played well in 2018, and he's playing well now, and he could win back to back World Cups. But just for how stacked this France team is, I mean, it's kind of addicting to say, but you could kind of slot another player to his caliber. Like if I put Erling Haaland in place of Mbappe, they're doing the same thing. If you put Messi in Mbappe, I mean Jesus Christ! If you put
Oh my
Ronaldo
god.
in Mbappe's place, like I think if you put there's comparable players to Mbappe that if you switch them out, this France team will do the same thing. Shit, I I think you could almost take out Mbappe, this French team. This French team will still be really, really good. That's how deep this team is. It's tough. It's really tough because it's not. If Messi wins this World Cup, and I know I'm going back to the Messi thing. Messi wins this World Cup now, it's more impressive than Mbappe's last World Cup because how stacked that French team was. Like, there's different levels to this, and I still think Mbappe is really really far away from this conversation. I mean, we'll probably get into a little bit. If he wins this World Cup, he could win the Ballon d'Or. This could be his first. I mean, I'm talking about. Oh, he hasn't won it yet. This could be the year that he wins it.
Mhm.
But he's got the biggest task in front of him. He has this Argentine team to beat in the World Cup final. And maybe if he wins a World Cup and I think he could make me completely eat my words by winning the World Cup, winning the Champions League, and then winning the Ballon d'Or. Already getting a crazy start, but I'm just gonna say that I highly doubt he's gonna win 8 Ballon d'Ors. I don't think that's going to happen. And to me, those I hold those very highly. I know you were kind of like, oh, if he wins if he wins 2 World Cups and 4 Ballon d'Ors, that's good enough. To me, absolutely not. You're gonna have to, maybe get to the 6 to 7 range. You're gonna have to at least get 6. You have bare minimum, you need 6 to get in that conversation. Messi will have 2 on you, but you need at least 6. But especially running into Mbappe, it's going to get a little more competitive. He's got Erling Haaland now. He's got other guys that are coming up. We have Jude Bellingham possibly. I mean, we have a lot of these guys that are coming up that can be real challenges to the Ballon d'Or. So we're going to see if Mbappe can rule it like Messi did, because if you're going to be the GOAT, you have to rule the Ballon d'Or as Messi did. That it was basically the Messi trophy. The Ballon d'Or, it was the honorary Messi trophy. So
Pretty much, yeah.
that's what that's what it's gonna have to take. But I think this game's gonna really come down to if Mbappe wins the World Cup, he's more in the conversation. Is he the best French player ever?
So just for clarification, like you don't really think anyone can overtake Messi unless they get pretty much the same amount of Ballon d'Ors.
I think you would need at least six or seven.
So more than Ronaldo. More than Ronaldo.
Yeah, you need more than Ronaldo. Ronaldo has 5. You need more than Ronaldo.
See, my thing with that, look, I'm not saying for me personally because we all know where I stand on this, but some people think Ronaldo is the GOAT right now, and he doesn't have anywhere near as many Ballon d'Ors. So I think my kind of point with that is he's going to have to win a lot of Ballon d'Ors. Don't get me wrong. He's going to have 5, 6, 7, whatever. Which, is he going to do that? I don't know. But he doesn't necessarily have to get 8 or 9 to overtake Messi or tie him or anything like that to be in the conversation or potentially overtake him because of what else he would have on his resume to make up for that. Now, look, I think it would be very difficult to overtake Messi because of how consistent you have to be, how healthy you have to be, and how good your teams around you have to be for your pretty much your entire career. And that look, Messi, he's the greatest player of all time, but he did walk into the greatest situation of all time. I mean, look, when he first got into Barcelona, he's over here got Ronaldinho taking him under his wing, and then he has well, maybe not anymore the greatest midfield trio, but at the time, the greatest midfield trio of all time with Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. And I don't know exactly. You can't really factor that in per se, and now obviously, we made a video on the channel talking about Kroos, Modric, Casemiro potentially overtaking them, being the best. But Messi walked
At
into
the time.
Messi walked into a great situation. I mean, when you look back, you hinted at how it was basically the Messi trophy for all of those years. Well, who finished second and third? It was pretty much Xavi and Iniesta, and then Ronaldo a couple times he got in there. Look, it was pretty much you like every year. We looked at the rankings. Just a few days ago, it was Xavi, Iniesta. They were always right up in there as well. So it just so happens Messi walked into a golden situation, and it allowed him to be as good as he was, and it basically showcased how good he really was. Mbappe, look, he plays for a great team, and he kind of
I
always
think
has.
it's
But
not
I
the
don't think you
exact
can
same.
compare.
Yeah.
I don't think you can compare like that Barca team that Messi was playing for. Look, I'm not. Should he have won more and potentially won a Champions League by now with PSG? Yes, but you can't compare this PSG team to that Barca team. I don't think. That's just not
Yeah.
really. If they
I mean,
play,
other than for 1 year he literally had Messi on his team, but
yeah,
I think that they were still heavy favorites going into almost every single Champions League run that they did.
100%. And like I said, he should have won one by now, especially with these PSG teams. It more comes down to can PSG eventually break this curse. If they can't win it this year, I don't know, but that's a story for another time. All things considered, Mbappe, he has a chance. Is he going to do it? I don't know. That we know the story is not yet written, but he definitely has a chance. I think at winning the second World Cup. First of all, the perfect comparison I think for the American audience is comparing it to Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. They played in the Super Bowl. Brady got the better of Mahomes. Mahomes really can't. He would have to do a lot to overtake Brady. Mbappe would win his second World Cup, and he beat the GOAT. He's setting himself up so that when you look back down the line on what his legacy was, when we're still talking about when Mbappe's 35, the same age as Messi, when we're looking back on what Mbappe accomplished, and we're saying who's better, Mbappe or Messi, 2022, they played in the World Cup final, and Mbappe won. And if Mbappe puts on a show, puts on a masterclass, scores 2 goals or whatever, there you go. That's what's going to be remembered. So there is a chance he's going to have to win a lot of Ballon d'Ors. He's going to have to win more than Ronaldo. I agree with that. And I think he's going to have to prove the doubters wrong and do something actually in the Champions League, because all things considered, he hasn't done it in the Champions League, really. He
But
obviously.
but another caveat to that, if he does do something in the Champions League, you're also kind of adding on to Messi. I mean, you win another Champions League, Messi wins another one as well.
It's
So it's
unfortunate
a
because they're on the same team now, yeah.
yeah
But like let's just say they're able to win it this year. Obviously, that does help out Messi as well. So it's a little bit tough. I think that's why and we'll probably talk about this as another talking point. But that's why I think this match is so important, because if, let's just say, PSG do win the Champions League this year, it's going to come down to who wins this match for the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. We'll talk about that maybe more in depth, but that's what it is. And Messi gets another Ballon d'Or. He wins the Champions League, wins the World Cup, all in the same year. I mean, signed, sealed, delivered. I don't think Mbappe has a realistic chance anymore. Like we're talking about 35-year-old Messi winning another Champions League to add to his resume, winning uh, another World Cup Golden Ball, potentially winning a Golden Boot.
yeah.
I
We didn't
mean,
even really talk about that. Yeah.
there's like nothing more. So that's why this game is so crucial, because I don't think Mbappe is necessarily sitting here thinking like, oh, I got to win this game so I can become the GOAT. I think he just wants to win the game. But for his GOAT debate, he has to win this game.
Yeah.
If Messi wins this over him, they're gonna have, like, Mbappe might go on later on in his career, win another World Cup, because this France team is gonna still be good in 2026, 2030. They're gonna be good,
It won't matter.
but it'll be like he's gonna he's gonna have to do so much, and besides the fact they're gonna be tied on World Cups, and even if Mbappe does get the second one and it's 2-1, that's not gonna be enough. Now, if it's 2-0 with the World Cups and Mbappe can potentially go on and tie Pele's record of 3, and he wins 6 Ballon d'Ors, and he wins, I don't know, 4 or 5 Champions Leagues, then and also he can keeps up with the consistent goals, and he's able to potentially have some record breaking seasons per se. You can throw his hat in the ring. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to truly do it. If because a lot would have to go right,
A lot
and
has to go right.
but it's not over. It's like if he wins this game, it's not over. He definitely has a shot, because we don't know exactly what this next generation of football is going to look like. We're like, unfortunately, it's kind of getting to the end here of the Mbappe or the Messi Ronaldo era, and Mbappe is the leader of this new generation. Is Mbappe going to be able to take this new generation by the scruff of the neck and win all those Ballon d'Ors and dominate like Messi was able to do? Or is it going to be highly contested? Is Haaland going to get a couple? Is Jude Bellingham going to get a couple? What's exactly going to happen? That remains to be seen. And that's what is going to truly kind of determine Mbappe's fate in the GOAT race. But look, my final point, if he's able to win this game, he's going to give himself a very good shot to be able to do so. Because I think I would be shocked at this point if he isn't able to win 5, 6 Ballon d'Ors. Because if he wins this game, I think he's got one pretty much signed, sealed, delivered, wrapped up. So he has a chance, but look, if I'm a betting man, I'm saying he's not going to do it, but he has a chance, and it's obviously huge for his legacy and his chance at becoming the GOAT.
Yeah, yeah. It's most of the same points. Yeah, that I think I do still kind of think that there's no chance, but with it's football. You never truly really know because, I mean, obviously knocking on whatever, but Mbappe could get injured. I mean, he could.
That's exactly
We've
that's
we've
it's
never
about
really
consistency.
seen we've never really seen Ronaldo or Messi sit out for almost a season. We've never seen them really miss more than like what, half a season. It's you have to like really go deep in like small points where they miss a couple games here and there, but the consistency of both those guys is it's unparalleled. And will Mbappe even be around when he's 35? Will Mbappe be able to possibly win a Ballon d'Or like
at
Messi could right
35.
now at 35? I mean, it's stuff
W-
that you're not going to see.
we won't know for a very long time, what the answer to that question is. Um, I think it's look, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Obviously, I think if he's going to have any chance, it all comes down to Sunday. So